Okay, you ready?
Yes.
What's up, everybody? I'm Lisa.
And I'm Lonie.
And this is
A Whole Mom.
Whoop, whoop. A Whole Mom is dedicated to those of us who deal with the everyday struggles of adulting, in addition to being a whole mom. So, friend.
What's up? So, before we got this thing on and popping,
she was about to say
I was
something.
about to say something, and I'm just like, let's just roll this thing.
Get that camera on.
I was just thinking earlier, so my friend here was talking about doing and being all of the things, that we're out here trying to do, all of the many hats that we wear. And, I'm tired.
Period.
And I was thinking earlier today, like, I would just like a few moments to just be. And not have to worry about doing so much. So, I've been in my head a lot about, like really doing something that works for me, that I really love and enjoy. Like, it can be a challenge. That's okay. I just don't want it to feel like a burden.
Do you mean like work-wise, professionally, or like
I feel like a lot
hobby?
of I feel like a lot of my things like kind of go hand in hand. A lot.
Tell me more, friend.
So I mean, like, I don't know yet. I don't want to speak too much.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much. I don't know. Just like on this journey, and I'm currently tired. Not that I haven't been tired, but
I feel that. There's a lot. So, a good friend of mine does a lot of work to intertwine the many facets of his life. So he's like, I'm doing this work, but I like to do this, so maybe I could figure that out and combine it in there. Or I have these friends who do this, maybe that could connect to my work in some way. And there's this whole master plan type of thing, and I appreciate that because I feel like it connects the things that you enjoy with some of the things that may be more tedious, but then sometimes I feel like that could be hard too.
Right.
So I've been looking at how I can do that more with my own personal life, and I feel like I do kind of, because the work that I do I'm passionate about,
right,
and it's meaningful. But yeah, it's just,
for me, it's like, how do I elevate that so it's more enjoyable? I'm just kind of at that place where I'm tired.
It's the paperwork.
It is.
It's the paperwork for me.
It's not even actually doing the job as much.
That's what it is.
It's all of the proving that you have done it.
Yeah, I swear, I always say, if I become a millionaire, or whatever, somebody with plenty of money, I want to fund things, because I feel like when you do government work, when there's these grants, or when there's, all this funding, people want to see proof. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean,
I get that.
It's
yeah.
understandable.
Right.
But it takes so much away from the actual service that you're providing.
Yes. Or
the goal of the service.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My goal is to get rich enough where I can be like, someone needs a house.
Right.
No paperwork necessary. I don't need to show, these funders, because I'm the funder, and I know what I did.
It's time.
I don't know. Make us millionaires, people, so we can change the world and not have to do paperwork for it.
Right.
Thank you. So that kind of covered because I was going to check in, because we just finished our 6th month of 2021.
Wow.
And yeah, we're more than halfway through the year. And at the beginning of the year, we, started off really strong. We were really consistent. And we also talked about some of our goals and things that we wanted to do for this year. So keeping those in mind as we continue to move forward. I was going to do a check-in to see kind of where we was at, how we was feeling.
But we're all checked in now. Guys, we have also had some, some inconsistencies for sure. So, sometimes we're not posting weekly. Sometimes it's bi-weekly.
And that's, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. So, I'm a doula. I had a birth last week. We couldn't record. Someone was giving birth. And I wasn't going to Zoom from the hospital room.
And things happen. I had just got back from out of town.
Yeah.
I had 3 birthdays this month. Like we said before, like football stuff.
It's summertime. We're doing our best. We're trying to decide, honestly, are we going to be like a seasonal, like, that's the end of season 1, right? When we like take some weeks off, or like, what does that look like? We're trying to keep going throughout the year and just keep it consistent, but sometimes there are hiccups.
Yeah.
But
feel free to give us some feedback, like what you guys would like to see, like maybe bi-weekly.
Also, subscribe, get those notifications, hit that bell. You know what I'm saying? Then you know when the episode is up. You don't gotta be looking like, what's going on? Where they at? When they pop up on the phone, on the computer, on the TV, whatever, you know it's there. Watch the new epi. You feel us? And follow us on social media. Instagram, Facebook. aWHOLEmom Show. Same for our email as well, Gmail.
Don't I look tired?
We're not gonna focus on us looking tired though, because we still fine, and that's really, you know what I'm saying. So okay,
it's all good. Yes.
Today, so we had a discussion about like last week we wanted to talk about like privileges in parenting, but we want to get into that, but before we even get into that, we'll save that for later. But what we wanted to get into, we felt like we needed to explain first, is like our parenting styles, and like kind of talk a little bit about like different parenting styles.
Yes.
Right. So how do you want to just talk about? Yeah.
So I'll start off with, there are, typically when we talk about parenting styles, there are like 4 main ones. So there is authoritarian, authoritative, permissive, and uninvolved. And so do we kind of want to like break each one down a little bit? Let's
break it down for the people.
Okay, so authoritarian parenting style is more so, it focuses on imposing authority on the kids without any exception. Okay.
So it's like, this what it is, this what it's going to be, do it.
Do what I say. Period.
Because I said so.
Because I said so. Okay. Number 2, authoritative. So parents have rules and they use consequences, but they also take their children's opinion into account.
So a little more of like a democracy kind of thing, right? Maybe there's a family meeting that occurs.
So conversations are being had. The kids are being listened to. It's not just do what I say.
Right.
Okay. Permissive. That kind of explains itself, right? So in this style of parenting, parents are very lenient. They only step in when there is a severe issue. Okay.
So they just, you live your life. What is it? No, it's not agnostic.
So it also says, as far as permissive, they're quite forgiving and might give privileges if the child begs for something. Okay. Very lenient.
So a little bit of a pushover?
Yes. So they take on more of a friend role than a parent role. So that's permissive. And then uninvolved. That tend to have little knowledge of what their kids are doing. Few rules. The kids may not receive much guidance, nurturing, or parental attention.
We don't want to do that one. What is it? Uninvolved. We want to be involved.
Right. So so one of the things that I was saying earlier is basically, I feel like also, I
hope y'all can hear that screaming.
So we go through different phases sometimes where we may be the authoritarian. Sometimes we're authoritative, and sometimes we're permissive, and maybe even uninvolved at times, right? So like one of the things I said earlier, probably last year during the pandemic, there was a lot of permissive parenting. Okay? Because everybody is just like trying to live, and we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything, so there were a lot of video games being played.
Oh, so many video games.
No real bedtimes.
We was just out
Not
here.
a lot of structure.
Especially that like first month or two. Oh, there were no bedtimes.
Whatever.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to bed. I don't know what y'all are doing, but me, I'm going to sleep.
We got a bedtime. Them kids.
Don't burn my house down.
And then it was like, okay, well, if they're going to stay up all night, I can sleep. And then while I'm working during the day, working from home, they're asleep for a long period of time.
Fact.
Okay? So it worked.
It did. I was like, you know what? Y'all cool being up? Be up. Good night.
It worked.
Don't burn my house down.
It backfired.
Oh, boy, did it backfire. Oh my God! Whew.
But it's okay. We're putting the pieces back together now.
Yeah, my kids are pretty young, so the switch of honestly getting back into like an earlier time didn't take too long.
Okay.
Because once I had them, once I made them get up early one day, they were tired, so they ended up going to sleep early, and it just got earlier and earlier.
My kids, they still don't care.
Yeah.
They'll be in the car, head rolling. We've got so many different things to do. I'm going to be all right in the morning. And you got to call them 10 times. My mouth, I'm getting all tongue-tied. But, so this is funny because last week, I was talking to my son. We had made more of a schedule for him a couple months ago. And so he's only followed it a few times. So, one day last week, he was just in a real crappy mood in the morning, and it just like messed up everybody's mood that day.
Oh, that's the worst.
And we're in the car, literally on the way to school, on the way to football practice, and I am over it. I am over your attitude, and this is how you have affected everyone else in the house because you didn't see the milk in the refrigerator and you had already poured your bowl of cereal and you're walking, oh my God, and you have just killed the morning mood for everyone. So I want to say it was either later on that evening or the next evening where he texted me a proposed schedule for himself. With the times and what he should be doing at those times. Now, it needed some tweaking. But the fact that he took the time to do that himself because he knew
he was crazy.
How he affected everyone else in the household. Yeah. I was like, okay, I may be doing something right. Even though, we were fussing.
I tell my oldest now, I be trying to be on them about bedtimes, but I know she be, because her room is a level away from mine. So I know she be having the TV on.
Right.
And I would be like, look, I don't want you to have the TV on, but if you're going to have it on, you better get your butt up in the morning.
Right.
I don't want no problems when I come to wake you up. As long as you can get up and get yourself together and get out of the house on time, we cool. If you can be responsible and handle that.
Right.
I don't care if you're tired. That's on you.
Right. You see what I'm saying? When sometimes you have to allow the natural consequences to
What is
occur.
it? Is that
a natural
permissive? I don't know what was that parenting
So
style?
we were talking about that, and I don't know. Does it go in between? Because that's a natural consequence. That's not a consequence that I'm giving.
Right.
So it's kind of like I feel maybe in between permissive and authoritative. So the rules are there. Things have been set. Consequences come. Conversations are had at some point. Right. So maybe even if it seems permissive, ultimately it's authoritative, I feel like.
Okay.
If you have that conversation.
Yeah, because one morning she Oh, Lord, she was spicy. She was real spicy that morning. Because I was like, I'm on her back. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you got to hurry up. Because she just like, still sitting on the edge of the bed. And I'm like, bruh, you need to be gone in 15 minutes.
Right.
So go get yourself right. And she was like, you always rushing me. And I was like, oh, don't worry about a thing. Set your alarm. You set your own alarm to wake up, and you set another alarm to let you know that the bus is going to be here in 10 minutes. Yeah. And then I don't have to say a word to you. And she was like, no, I wasn't trying to be rude. And I was like, no, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
You won't have to say anything else about me. Sis. Because I will be minding my business, and you don't have to worry about me rushing you. So now she got her little 2 alarms.
Boy,
I make sure the food is ready.
Okay.
And I check
Even with that, you know, my kids are older, so I'm definitely teaching them, okay, like if you're planning on eating, if you're planning on fixing lunch for the day, you need to be up at this time. Sometimes I will make breakfast. Sometimes I will set things out. But, you know, I'm really in a period of like trying to help them, you know, manage their time and do things for themselves. Yeah.
I feel that.
I also have lots of things to do in the morning. Not trying to be lazy, but I sometimes I, you know, go back and forth with, you know, finding that balance. And typically, you know, like I'm a weekend type person. Like, all right, like I'll fix y'all's food, breakfast, whatever. On the weekends, we can all, you know, have a meal together. Yeah. A couple meals together. But, you know, like weekdays, it's not like they're going to eat a full course meal in the morning before they're going to practice or whatever.
Oh, girl,
we've already went to the grocery store. You've picked out what you wanted for the week.
Pop it in the microwave.
Because that's what they like. Yeah. That's what they want.
I feel it. So that part of, a lot of my parenting style is influenced by the things I wanted as a kid, but also like the type of kid I was. So like me giving her that bedtime freedom, like I guess I had a bedtime like when I was younger, but like honestly, by the time I was in like late middle school, high school, I was just kind of on my own to determine what I wanted to do. But sleep was very important to me. So I was the type of person, even if I was up on the phone, I was like, all right, good night, sir. Because I'm tired and I don't like to be sleepy.
I'd be up half the night doing homework.
Girl, no. I
talk on the phone.
Honey, I hated getting up and still being tired. But I also was not going to skip school.
No boundaries.
So I was like, I'm not about to be tired. I'm not doing... That was like the thing that I hated most in the world was waking up and still feeling like I wanted to sleep. And I was like, why would I do that to myself?
For me, like once I was up and at them, like I was good to go. I can function off of those few hours of sleep.
I was like, I need a full 8, honey. And if you need a girl that's going to talk to you past 11, you need to get you a new girlfriend, babe. Because no, I'm not.
Margaret was going to pick up that phone 10 o'clock. Bedtime.
God.
Oh, child.
But yeah, I also, one thing that me and my sister used to always like, you know, in the movies, when the people be getting ready for school, you know, little white people movies. And they come downstairs with this orange juice and eggs and bacon, and they all sit at the table and talk about the day. And
who got time for that? We do sometimes. We do that.
I be making breakfast.
We do that sometimes.
I make breakfast in the morning. We might not have a whole lot because low key I still be running around while they eating. But at least they sit down to eat with each other.
I get up before them.
I be up, but time. Oh God, I just be because I gotta make the little one. I gotta make her lunch and stuff.
I be up 2 or 3 hours before them.
I'm not that many hours. Jesus, I be up about 30 minutes.
Because like that's my time where nobody is really bothering me. And I don't mean that. I don't mean to say that.
No, that's real. In
a negative way, but like
keep it real. These kids be bothering us.
Where I have time to, a lot of time I don't even take that time to like actually get ready. Like I'll take that time to like work on something for work or to just breathe or drink a cup of coffee or whatever. Send an email. Y'all will find an email from me at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Not I send the chicken.
Because read it when you can and respond when you can. This is when I can send it.
I'll be having a hard time getting up at 6.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not hard.
I told you, I don't like being tired.
I have more energy those few hours in the morning. So I'll say anywhere from 5 to 11. I'm great.
That's when the productivity
12 o'clock hits.
You out.
I'm over it. I'm done peopling for the day, and the day has barely even been started.
But your day been going on for a minute. At that point, forget that.
I need to work for myself.
Girl. And be up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing stuff.
At least I don't have to worry about.
I feel glad be done by 12. We out here.
Okay.
All right. So, friend, what do you think your parenting style is overall?
Overall, I'm definitely authoritative.
Yeah, I think so.
But like I said, as my kids have grown older, I'm very much so, because it stresses me out.
What? These kids are screaming, and I don't know if y'all can hear it in the mics or not, but they screaming. So if you see us, be like, they playing. I don't think nobody dying, and then they playing, but they screaming. Go on.
Yeah, my kids are older, so I feel like I'm tired of yelling. I'm tired of talking to y'all. Like one of my sons, he asked me, he was like, why you got an attitude? Why you always coming in here with an attitude? They already know. If I've given you instructions, like I give y'all like one chore per day. And there may be 5 dishes in the sink. Because also when I wake up at 5 o'clock, I am washing the dishes, wiping down the counter and the stove, straightening up. If someone decided they wanted to leave their stuff in the living room or sleep on the couch instead of in their bed, get up and go get in the bed so I can straighten up my pillows on my couch.
Oh, friend, y'all really is up in there thugging it. I'll be like, get your ass in this bed.
But I'm already asleep.
Facts. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, like,
I feel that.
So there are several things that, like a little morning routine for me as well. It makes me feel better if I know that my dishes are washed, the counter's cleaned off. A clean kitchen, the bathroom, and living room is very important to me. Now, my room might have some clothes everywhere.
Girl, I got clothes everywhere right now. Currently.
But, yeah, so authoritative. But after I have said something so many times, I'm just going to let the chips fall where they're made. And then we're going to have a conversation about it later. Now, see? Didn't I tell you? Now I gotta have attitude.
I think I am. I think I'm authoritative. But I'm also, like, mixed in with my authoritative style is, like, I definitely pick my battles, right? Because I'm not... Everything don't need to be a conversation. We don't need to talk about everything. For instance, last week, my mama kept telling me about my oldest child's room. And I was like, well, girl, that's her room. I said, is there any food in there? Because she was like, have you seen that child's room? And I was like, no, I haven't. And she was like, it's just a mess. And I was like, okay, is there food in there? And she was like, I can't tell. And I know it ain't no food in there because I don't let her take no food to her room. Now, because the reason I had to make that a concrete rule, because at first I was kind of like, whatever, just bring the bowl back or whatever.
They don't bring.
Or bring the wrapper or whatever. Yeah, she wasn't bringing stuff back. And one day I went in there and she got like a little bedside table. Girl, all kind of candy wrappers and trash in there. There was nothing in there but wrappers. Yes. And I was like, oh, because I was looking for something and pulled it out. And I was like, she got me messed up now. I be giving these kids plenty of wiggle room. Yes. And then when they get me messed up, it's, all right, now, y'all know.
Now we got
y'all know took advantage.
Rein it back in.
Yeah, now we got to roll it back and try this again. So that was when I was like, okay, hard and fast, no type of food down here.
My kids still have not listened to that. I'll have to catch them as they're trying to walk up the stairs. Eat in the kitchen. Yeah. Eat at the table. Also, taking my water bottles and leaving them half empty everywhere.
Oh,
no.
Finish that water.
Don't even touch any more that I buy. Drink it out that filter in the fridge. Put it in a glass. Mm-hmm. Stop. Don't even touch my water box.
I feel that.
You feel me?
Also,
I'm tired.
My kid, oh Lord, they love these cranberry, like carbonated cranberry drinks. It's like a sparkling cranberry from Ocean Spray.
Cranberry soda.
They
might as well
love them because and it's like, wait, oh, they can bust somebody against the wall out here. They can knock my pictures down. But anyway, they love those, and I can't tell you how many times just this weekend I have found half a can. So
they're not cheap.
They're not. That's the thing. I buy them because they love the freaking drinks, but they are like drinking half of it and leaving it, and then it's not good because it's carbonated. It's nasty.
Let me tell y'all.
They don't gotta worry because they splitting them from now on.
One of these kids, I know which one it was. Drunk. Now, the rule in my house, don't drink my ginger ale. That's a rule. They'll ask for a little bit. I'll come back home and the whole bottle is gone. Or maybe there's this much in the bottle. Now.
Don't leave with this much.
I'm beyond mad. And especially if I don't have another one, because I buy 2 or 3 at a time. Now, you know, you don't see any more ginger ale around here, and you don't even have the courtesy not to drink my last. That won't even the last. When I left the house, it was at least half. They had their own drinks in the refrigerator. Still had to drink mine.
That's how they do. I don't even buy ginger ale no more.
Then, now I gotta pop off.
Bro, and then they want to know why you popping off. Like,
bro, ma, you always got an attitude. Why you always coming in the house? And these kids be bout it.
I went off.
Don't even talk to me. Go to your room. I'm mad right now.
I feel that.
I don't want to talk to you.
I don't even go off on these kids much because I'm a pretty patient person. Most people will, especially when it comes to the kids.
They don't stress me.
People be like, "You're so patient." I'm like, "Well, you know, I don't usually let things get to me." But there's a couple times where, and it's usually like I have to express to them like I am a person. I'm not a robot who doesn't have feelings or who doesn't need a thank you or like, you know, that you can just, because I feel like they have come accustomed to a certain lifestyle. And that's fine. I mean, I want you to, you know, enjoy life. Yeah. But also, and I do things for them because I care about them. But like, y'all gotta recognize that like, I am a person.
Right. And certain things that they need, they can be better communicators about it.
Yes, and they just real spoiled at this point too. I'm not gonna lie, my kids are hella spoiled. Usually, like even as so far as, I'll give you an example. When we eat, if I have prepared the meal, I give them their food. I'm probably still like trying to get my plate together as I have called them in and told them that their plate is on the table. And they'll be like, "Oh, can you give me something to drink?" And I'll be like, "You right here in the kitchen. You see me fixing my plate. Frigidaire is right there. Get your own drink."
So at what point do you... So I feel like for me, like sometimes I do a little bit of both. So at what point do you say, "Hey, everybody, the food is ready," and everybody can put their own portions on the plate?
Oh, no, I don't trust these kids to put no portions on no plates.
So then you got to worry about them?
Right. So that's what it is. Yeah. A lot of it is me being like, "Oh, no, I'm not doing this with these kids."
Girl, let them kids put their food on their plate.
Girl,
Give them a certain spoon or fork.
And then I'm going to have to cuss them out.
And that's the amount that you get.
I just feel like that's going to be another beef. Because, of course, they think they so starving. And they just need so much.
Eat that first spoon first.
And I don't want to have to be like my daddy, because my daddy did not play about that plate. And I'm all like, I try to be open to like the idea that, you know, let them decide how much they want to eat. I try to get them to eat at least a little bit of whatever is there.
Right.
But like teaching them to like trust their physiological instincts, right?
Like, I'm full.
Yeah.
Stop.
So not like you need to clean that plate, right? Like in the 90s.
Oh, girl, you don't get up from the table and tell you.
Girl, I used to be like, well, I guess I'm gonna be sitting.
Me too, because y'all thought I was gonna drink this milk. As soon as you turn your head, I'm going to dump it under the porch. Honey,
my daddy's girlfriend made, which is like delicious now, but cornbread and chili beans. And I loved cornbread. I did not like beans. And I was like, why would you put the beans on top of the cornbread? Like, that disgusted me so bad. I was so pissed. I was like, why would you fuck up some good cornbread with these beans? Oh my God, I was done. And he was like, you gonna eat it. And I was like, but I'm actually not. Like, no. He was like, if you don't, because we used to, you know, have a little juice, have a little dessert. He was like, if you don't drink it, you ain't getting no dessert. And you drinking water for the rest of the night. I was like, well, water me down because I'm out. The fuck? What you thought this was?
Look, for me, it was that nasty milk. Now, I'm just going to eat I'm going to eat just enough in the bottom of the cereal bowl to get it a little wet. I'm not drinking the milk after the cereal is gone. And why you put this glass of milk beside me? And why you put so much in it? Now,
why is there more milk?
You're wasting.
You feel me?
And you expecting me to drink it? We gonna sit here and look at each other. I'm gonna look at this milk because I'm not drinking it. And these Flintstone vitamins is going up under the porch along with the milk because they disgusting too. The dog gonna eat them.
My friend was throwing stuff under the porch
and wood.
Oh my God.
I'm country. The dogs was under the porch. And there was little spaces between the wooden boards. So there you go. Flintstones.
Dog, healthy as some mud.
Throw the milk in the slop bucket or something. Slop bucket.
She country. Me and my son, we flushed some cereal down the toilet one time. Who was it? Another one of my daddy's girlfriends. She had she ain't have no sugar, and she had Rice Krispies and no sugar, and I was like, what? But she had Equal, so we was like, yeah, you know, Equal supposed to be like sugar. Let's load it down, baby. We was pouring all kind of Equals, ripping the packs open.
Oh my God.
Ready. That shit was disgusting. And my daddy was at work. And we hated her. Oh, we hated her. And I was like, I'm not telling this bitch that we're not eating this. And I was like, all right, this is what we gonna do. Just say you gotta go to the bathroom. Because she was like in the living room watching TV. Go to the bathroom, pour the cereal in there, flush
Did y'all fake?
Yeah, girl.
Fake the spoons hitting the side of
Yes. And it just came back in there, clink, clink, clink a little bit.
Rinse the bowl out.
Honey. And put it on in the sink.
I'm done.
Thing was, all the Rice Krispies didn't go down the toilet. All the Rice Krispies. It was still little Rice Krispie flakes in his toilet when she went to the bathroom.
Like, my stomach was hurting.
So she knew.
You ever seen that meme that was like, I could have sworn I chewed that corn up?
Honey, because corn don't play. But, yeah, so I feel like my parenting style really is like a lot of stuff that I thought about as a kid. Like, man, ain't nobody trying to do this. Like, what y'all got me fucked up in here. I remember just as being a kid, like, is this a joke? So I be trying to like think about how I would perceive things as a kid.
If my kids are really like, I don't like this, it's okay to not like certain foods. Like, I definitely like introduce them and give them just a little bit. If this is something that they haven't tried before, they're like really hesitant about it. All right, I'm going to give you a little bit. Just taste it. See if you like it. You need some salt, whatever.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Right.
And typically, you know, historically they have liked it. For the most part.
That's the thing. Most of the time they try, they like it. But getting them to try it is the hard part. But yeah, that's why I like solicit feedback from my kids. Because it's just...
You know what it felt like.
Yeah. And I just felt like, this gotta be better than this. This gotta be more to life than this. Because y'all have me fucked up. Like, I really just felt like, no.
I feel like that's also a great opportunity to, take your kids with you to the grocery store, or if you're ordering online, like having your kids sit down with you or telling you what they want.
Yeah.
Or maybe to think of a meal that you guys can prepare together, whatever it may be. Like I said before, like I'm in that stage where I'm trying to teach them more life skills. And so sometimes I make my kids get in the kitchen. We're all going to prepare a meal together. Like everybody is responsible for something.
Yeah.
Like an actual dish. Like everybody is responsible for an actual dish.
Because that's alright, so I feel like we harping on food a lot, but food be the problem. My youngest, she ain't no cook yet. So, I gotta feed her. My oldest, I'll be like, if she don't like what's prepared in front of her, I'll be like, well, eat it or don't. There's some things in there that you can prepare for yourself if you're not down with this. Go live your life. Like, because I just feel like me being like, well, if you don't eat this, you don't eat at all. Like, Beauty and the Beast. Like, yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, as an adult, you know what I'm saying, she's going to have options. And that forces her to be like, when I'm, you know what I'm saying, asking about the grocery list, she not going to just ask for hot Cheetos.
Right.
Right? She's going to think about what she wants.
Or what she needs, because if you know you don't like that school lunch, you know what you can actually pack to take with you that's going to be sustainable.
Girl, school lunch is a problem. Because that child do not like no cold food. And she don't like the school lunch.
Mine either.
I be like, I don't know, honey.
But like, I've been dealing with that since mine was in pre-K. Oh, we had to make subs on a sub roll. We couldn't have regular loaf bread.
She don't even
or
like
salads. This is a kid in pre-K and kindergarten.
Girl, I've been giving her, she been eating them frozen French toast sticks and bacon from that morning for years for lunch.
I tell you.
The oldest one, we don't know. She don't know. I don't know. If she liked the lunch that day, she eat it. If she don't, she eat when she get home.
My oldest will eat just about anything processed. Real
Yeah,
food?
that's going to be her. When she get to high school, she's going to be all up in the vending machines and whatnot. Do they still got vending machines? Whatever. She going to be finding something. She going to be at a little special line. Where they got
the children.
Chicken wings.
Oh, so beautiful.
Oh, so complicated.
So picky. Opinionated.
That's also okay. One thing about my kids, they're going to let me know how they feel.
But that's also a beautiful thing.
It is, and I appreciate it.
So, and that goes to show that your parenting style is authoritative because, like, they know and understand some boundaries, but they also know that their opinion, and it matters. You know, what they say, how they feel, that matters. And it's not just do what I say, and it's not do whatever you want. You're in between somewhere. You know?
It is, because they'll say, you sure been working a lot this week.
Like, we need some time now.
Yeah. I'll be like, all right.
Mine will say it in, like, roundabout types of ways. It's more so questions. Do you have to work today? Mm-hmm. How long do you have to work? Do you have these types of visits? Well, where are you going? What are you doing? Are we doing anything this weekend?
Honey.
So many things.
I realized, too, that so I know my kids are spoiled. However, I know that it's on me, right? I know that I'm the one that has done this. Mm-hmm. I have brought them to this point in their lives. And so trying to, like, get them out of that, I can't just shake them and be like, all right,
yeah,
stop. So I'm trying to like softly push them into doing things more for themselves. That's why I'll be like, lunch on your own today. Like, don't.
And you gotta kind of prep them for it. Like, okay, like this week, this is how we're gonna do things.
Yeah, and I make sure there's next stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, lunch on your own today, everyone.
Prepare it the night before, or wake up so many minutes early to make sure you're making time to do this thing.
'Cause I'm out.
In a few more years, nobody is going to come knock on your door and wake you up. If you know you're not going to get up, set more than one alarm. And make sure your ringer is on.
Oh, my God.
Loud.
That's what it be. The other morning, after I already told the child I set 2 alarms, I'm like, she ain't making no noise. Let me go see what's going on down here. Phone off. Oh, I cut it off to let it charge. What? It's plugged up.
And from now on, turn it off an hour before you go to bed. Because when you go to bed, you're turning it back on to make sure you can hear your alarm.
I just felt
Matter of fact, turn it in 2 hours before bedtime.
What did you need to turn it off for? It was going to charge.
The children.
For a full 8. It was going to be charging.
Crazy.
The logic of the children. I try not to beef with these kids. Try to show them their opinions are valued. Even though sometimes I'll be like, cool story, bro. Do this. Yeah, that sounds nice. Oh, also, that's what. So I feel like it's something that I kind of had in my head. But like this girl on Instagram, Manifest Destiny, made me like, oh, I need to verbalize this. She was like, telling your kids that you're a team is important. Like making sure that they understand that, like, you know, in the mornings we all need to get out of the house. We have to work together to do what we need to do.
That
to
is
get
exactly
the hell out
conversation that I had before he sent me that schedule. That is the exact conversation that we had.
That's what it is. Like letting them know that they're a part of this. It's not just me freaking screaming at you, right? It's all of us collectively. We're trying to do something together.
Exactly.
So let's make it happen.
Right.
Happen.
So the conversation that I had, I was like, that's why I wake you up at this time and this one gets up 15 minutes later. Like, you guys share a bathroom, but there's also a bathroom downstairs. Use it.
Yeah.
If I'm not in mine, use it. Clean it up, but use it. You know what I'm saying? But I stagger them so they don't really get in each other's way. Or if they wake up at the same time, one goes in the bathroom, one eats.
See?
And swap.
Like, as a parent, especially as a single mother, there's so much planning that goes into every little decision that we make, right? Even that 15-minute window, because you recognize what's necessary. And that's one thing that has helped me a lot, is being transparent with my kids about why I do the things that I do. Because they don't get it. I feel like I've spent so much time like trying to be 5 steps ahead of them that they don't even they don't realize how seamlessly everything runs, because I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, or like I've put so much thought into
because you're making sure that it's already straight for them,
and the stress is not on them,
right?
It's on me. So when I see, okay, this step got messed up, and now in 3 steps there's going to be a problem, I'm like cleanup crew trying to make things happen, and so they just move through it seamlessly. But I have started being like, hey guys, look at everything I've done here. Like, and a lot of work goes into this.
What's the next step? Let those chips fall where they may.
Right.
And then everybody going to be late, and that day is going to be a learning lesson.
Right.
But that is the exact conversation that I had. I said, everybody has a job. Everybody has to get themselves together, get themselves ready. I get up hours before y'all do, so I can have time to do whatever it is that I'm doing. If I have to stop because you can't catch your breath because there's no milk, or someone hasn't communicated that I need to go and get some more milk, that is the importance of communication.
Ooh,
that is the importance of checking to make sure there's milk before both of y'all pour a bowl of cereal. And what really put the icing on the cake, there was some milk in the bowl, and I hear milk and cereal going into the trash. So not only have you wasted the milk that was left, you have poured out this cereal. Why didn't you just eat the cereal? That the portion of the cereal that there was enough milk for.
I feel that.
Okay.
Because, honey, it just add a little bit of water to it. Extend that milk.
Why didn't you look in the refrigerator real good to see that other carton of milk?
There was a whole nother carton in there.
It wasn't full like that, but there was enough milk in there for him to. So next time, maybe you need to check and make sure there's milk first before you pour the cereal in the bowl, or before you start pouring the milk. Jiggle it.
Jiggle it. You can feel. You know that ain't enough milk in there. What you thought? You was going to start pouring and it was just going to be some more?
So now I have to stop what I'm doing to address you and everything that you have going on. So now you're setting me back. You're setting yourself back. And that ultimately sets everyone back because I'm the driver.
Now we're screwed. We're all screwed. Now what? What do we do from here? Friend, how do you deal with when your kids... Because how wide is the age gap?
4 years.
So, obviously, you know, one is fully into his teenage years. How do you deal with when you need to parent them differently, or like times where they are treated differently, or the standard is different, and somebody got a problem with it?
Oh, they always have a problem.
How do you?
So one thinks that the other is the golden child, and the other thinks that the other one gets away with everything.
I feel that, because I was definitely the golden child, and I definitely felt like y'all let her get away with everything.
Mm-hmm. It's just like that.
Yeah.
So I have to have conversations with them, you know, and of course one is older, so I have to say, you know, and you know, of course he has called his little brother a different breed. So like they understand.
Them little ones do be different.
The second born.
They always different.
I feel like I'm, you know, about to go into some things with this teenager. You know,
this is very exciting.
Yeah, so that's all I can say there. But I have to have conversations with them together. Then I have to have conversations separately. And I like, even when you know, we're in the moment, I have to say, you know, I'm not doing this because, or I'm not saying this because, or I'll have to say to the other one, hey, look, I'm cutting you a whole lot of slack today, and it does not look fair, you know, to the other one. Or it's not fair if I do this or allow this, that, and the third for you, and then, you know, your brother is not given the same opportunities. We know that life is not fair. We know that each child has to be parented differently because they're different.
They're individuals.
But yeah, like mostly it's just having a conversation. You know, sometimes they think it's total crap, and other times they understand.
They do be thinking it's total crap.
And I think, you know, ultimately they understand, but at the same time, like in the moment, they like, forget this.
Facts.
It's not fair, and I'm over it. And that's when, you know, like they start to like resent one another.
That's what I don't want.
I mean,
this book about that.
I think it's going to be there somewhat, regardless.
I don't know how to avoid it.
But like helping them, you know, work through it. And so I feel like for me, like it has been like trying to help them nurture relationships with people that they can go to when they don't feel like they can come to me. And I'll call, text, reach out to somebody else and say, hey, I really need you to help this kid out. So that's a privilege. Being able to do that or have that Something else I was going to say, and I was thinking this, is that we spend so much time as parents like trying to prevent things.
Oh, Lord.
And trying to make things better for our kids. I mean, we're going to do that. We're also going to try to prevent, but I don't want it to be to the point where it's detrimental.
Right. And they never have a negative experience in their life.
Right. So that's why I am all for the natural consequences. And it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to be like, he's going to fall flat on his face. And you got to sit there like, I've already told them. I tried to walk them through the steps. But they're just not getting it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that is when life comes in and it is a greater or better teacher. So like them actually going through the experience themselves.
Yeah. It was something happened one day and my youngest was like, why you ain't tell me not to do that? Why you ain't tell me that was going to happen? And I was like, because if I would have tried to do that and deter you from whatever thing you were doing, we was going to be beefing. And you was going to say, no, I'm going to do it. And it was going to turn to you having a full-on meltdown. So, you weren't going to die. So I let you do it. And see for yourself. Mm-hmm. And now you have had that experience. And you know in the future, okay, this is not cool. I'm not going to do this again. I don't even remember what it was.
And you can't blame me for it.
Right. And now it's not a battle with you and me. Right? It's just something you've learned on your own, and now we can move forward from that.
Now you need to self-evaluate.
Right. Because and even like with my friends, right? Like we let each other make mistakes. We don't try to...
Girl, what you do that for?
We don't try to control one another's lives. We just support each other where we're at. And if things go wrong, then we're there to be supportive at that point as well. And so that's what I'm trying to practice with my kids too. Because I've actually had several friends who've said like that is like a huge descriptor of me as a friend is that like I'm so supportive.
Girl, why didn't you snatch me? Lisa has been given the appropriate instructions on when to snatch me. She has my full permission.
But yeah, we can't like free will is a real thing. So we have to, at some point, allow our kids to express their own free will and, like, make their own decisions. And, I mean, obviously within safety, safe confines. But, yeah, that's actually something, like, especially with me having spoiled-ass children. Trying to, like, make way for that and, like, stepping back whenever I can has become very important. And me just being, like, even, like, making ways for myself to step back. Because my youngest, like, because there's obviously shit that I do because I'm like, I can't trust these kids. Like, I'm not going to, my 7-year-old, she could probably pour her own drinks. But do I want to deal with if she spills it everywhere? And then she's going to clean it up. She's going to clean it up, but it's not going to be clean good enough. So then I'm going to have to come behind her and clean it up as well. I actually am going to the dollar store to get the little speaking thing.
I'm going to tell you why you have to. And I'm going to give you a perfect example with the drink. And it wasn't even about pouring for me. Mine was, this little dude couldn't get the tops off of anything. And so it started with one type of bottle. And then it was all of them. Mom, can you open this? Mom, can you open this? And I know darn well this boy can get the top off of this bottle. He just like has become used to me opening these bottles for him. One day I just had to like listen to. I didn't watch him because I couldn't. Because if I watched, I was going to just give it here. Let me do it.
Girl, because that's when I'd be like, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
And so I had to sit in the other room. And well, he did come to me first, and I said, I'm gonna let you do it. Like, show me that you can open it. Like, I think you can do it. So I went on back in the living room and sat down. And I mean, I didn't see him, but I know that he was, oh, God. Oh, I can't. And it was eating me up on the inside.
That's my youngest. And she was so mad.
It might have been 3 to 5 minutes later. And I feel like it was like some cranberry juice or something because he likes cranberry juice. But yeah, so he opens it. I hear him pour it. He closes it and puts it back in the refrigerator. Walks on through. Oh yeah, Mom, I opened it. And goes on about his business.
That's real. Yeah, the thing that triggered it for me was that I realized my kids don't really have problem solving skills like that. And I was like, oh Lord. What have I done?
They gonna be out here in this world.
Honey, because I'm like very ingenuitive. Like, I will rig some stuff up. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, this isn't working, but how can I make this happen?
Exactly.
Like, I'm very like trying to find the alternate route. I'm gonna finesse something. Like, if something is broke, I'm gonna figure it out. My kids be like, this is broke.
Right. So for you, when your kids do that and you say, okay, well, I'm going to need you to figure it out.
That's what I've started doing, especially with my oldest. My youngest, I'll try to like be like, have you tried something else? Maybe if you try doing it a different way. So I'll like guide her a little bit. My oldest, I'll be like, you got it. Go ahead and figure it out. Her little project she had recently, she had to do like, she gonna come home talking about, they had to do a wax museum. These kids are screaming. They had to do a wax museum. Like, the 5th grade was going to be a wax museum for the school. They were going to dress up as certain people, and like they had to like have this poster board with information about these people. Like, they had to do that part as like a project, and then they had to be dressed up in the hallway. So I will come home and say, yeah, Mama, you need to buy me a Pocahontas costume because I'm Pocahontas for the wax museum. I said, girl, if you think I'm buying you a costume, you must have me mistaken for someone else. You need to go make you a costume. I don't know how to make no costume.
All this TikTok they be watching?
I say, you better get on YouTube. You better get on Google. You got it right there in your hand. You better find it and figure out how to make it. She just acted such a fool. She ended up asking my mama to help her out. And they came up with this design. And I was like, okay, that's fine. You figured out an alternate route. You found somebody else to help you with it. My mom like bought her a shirt at the Goodwill, and she cut it up herself and all that. And I was like, wow. I made sure to congratulate her.
Use your resources.
Tell her how great it looked. Yeah, and I was like, wow, you did it all on your own. Amazing.
Do you feel proud?
Yeah, and that was the thing is like, how do you feel? You did this. And she was like, yeah, look at me, period, Bobby, Pocahontas. So, feeling herself. But, like, that is what I want for them. To, like, see something, think about, because me, already in my head, as soon as she said Pocahontas, I'm like, all right, what we got at the house, boom, boom, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm already planning it out. But then I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Because then I'm going to be doing it for the rest of my freaking punk-ass life.
And definitely for the rest of the night. When you know you got other stuff to do.
Honey, too much other stuff.
And so now whatever you had to do goes on the back burner.
Exactly.
And that is not teaching your kids appropriate boundaries.
Right.
That is teaching your kids to people please and, like what they have going on. Right. What you have going on as an individual doesn't matter because you have to give so much of yourself to other people. When someone else says they're in need, you got to drop what you're doing and tend to them.
Right.
And it's not good modeling. And, I feel like, as parents, we're going to feel bad about it at first. But, like, ultimately, what are we teaching our kids?
Right.
Because we teach them so much from what we model, what we show them. We can't be saying one thing and then doing another, right?
Honey.
I feel like for us, like if we think about our parents, like moms, grandmoms, whoever, the adults in our lives as we were growing up, how much of themselves did they give to others? And how much did they save for their actual selves?
Right.
And
a lot of it they couldn't even save for us, neither.
Right.
Because they was pooped by the time they got home.
Right.
So, yeah. I think, like, I appreciated that moment because I was like, okay, I'm going to let her take the reins on this. And I'm just going to support her and cheer her on. Remind her that she can do it. give her the appropriate scissors, because she came upstairs crying because the scissors won't cut.
How much of a confidence booster was that?
Right. Because the
I
pride
can do
that she
this
felt,
on my own.
Yeah. And she was like, and I did it all by myself. And I was like, okay, girl.
I, created this vision and I executed it. I knew what I wanted to do. I was expecting my mom to do it for me and figure it out.
Right.
She challenged me to do it myself, and I did that. So if we never do that or allowed our kids the space and opportunity to do that,
they would be lost, not knowing how to solve any problems, coming to me for everything, which is what they have been doing.
So even that within itself, found balance.
It's really about balance.
I was sitting earlier, just existing for a moment. And all I could think about was balance.
Girl.
Finding that balance in life where you are not completely overwhelmed by this and that.
Yes. Because
your scale is always off. At what point can we find a good balance?
Right.
Knowing that we're going to be knocked off our rocker sometimes. But at what point can we consistently be balanced?
Yeah. Because, at this point, it's not even I don't want to spoil my kids anymore. It's survival. I cannot. I can't continue to parent at the level that I've been parenting. It's not sustainable. I will crash.
It's not efficient.
It's not. I cannot.
Not
I absolutely can't continue to as far as listening to feedback, allowing them to take part in the running of the household, and not treating them as second-class citizens. That's always going to be important to me. Those are values to me. And constantly thinking about how I felt as a kid and letting that influence how I parent them is important, but also recognizing that a lot of the autonomy that I had as a kid is what made me the person that I am, and made me as ingenuitive as I am, and made me able to provide for them in the way that I have been able to. So I have to push them to do more for themselves, because I literally cannot. They need more now. They eat 50 times a day. I can't be cooking 50 times a day.
No. And I think one of the things that we were talking about is how, I guess your role kind of changes, your role in their lives. As they get older, their friends are more of an influence.
Right.
They might need you less in some areas and need you more in other areas.
Right.
And it's hard. It's hard finding that balance. I think it's also important to, listen to your kids when they say something, whether it be flat out, or if they're giving you subtle hints. Paying attention to their behavior, their responses and reactions to things, and asking that question, what have I done, or what behavior have I shown that may have caused this type of response or this type of reaction in my kid, and just constantly adjusting, constantly evolving. Okay, what type of parent do I need to be right now? What does my kid need from me?
And considering that,
yeah. And what do I need from me?
I feel the switch that I have made has been from doing a lot and being their everything, and trying just overexerting myself as a parent, to more or less helping them cope with when the answer is no. Yeah. With when I'm not going to do this, actually. Or this weekend we're not doing a bunch of activities. I have nothing planned. So do with that what you will. So helping them cope with life, and when things are hard, or when they get answers that they don't like, or when dinner is not the thing that they had in mind, or whatever, teaching them how to bounce back from that, or handle whatever for them, fix something for themselves or whatever, instead of focusing so much on me not wanting them to like feel sad or upset because of something
out
that
a certain way.
Yeah, because of something that I did or said. Because
Internalizing
I feel like that,
it.
Yes, I feel like that drove me a lot before, whereas now I'm just like, okay, I need to teach them how to like handle things on their own and cope with whatever comes at them. That doesn't mean that I have to like, you know, be their first bully, right? Like, oh, the world sucks, so I'm gonna make the house suck too. Like, no.
So teaching them how to live and survive, but also, you know, helping them grow their emotional intelligence and all of these things.
Right, and still being supportive.
Yeah.
You can be supportive and say no.
Child.
Because you have to model boundaries for your kids. Like she said, like, you have to model boundaries for your children as well. And some of those boundaries will come. And they're allowed to have their own boundaries. Oh.
You know, one that my son has, and it kind of, I have to remember it all the time. You know, like you want to be like affectionate with your kids. And I mean, I guess it's kind of my way of showing affection, but my oldest son doesn't like being touched. And so I often walk in his room and he's playing the game, and I'll just like speak to him and kind of rub him on the back. Or sometimes I play with him and I grab his neck and he's like, Mom, I don't like being touched. Okay, yeah, I'm so sorry.
And we gotta respect it.
Yeah.
That's how my youngest is, honey. Don't hug her.
I don't want to talk to you about such and such right now.
Oh, that is, I allow it. Because they used to like not say anything. I would be like, what happened? What's going on? Like, I'm asking all these questions and they're just like sitting there with attitude. And so I was like, you can say, I don't want to talk about it right now. Because I feel like you just looking at me crazy while I'm asking you a million questions it feels disrespectful in my spirit. And so I'm going to allow you have to say something. You need to answer me, but you can say, I don't want to talk about it.
Or can't talk about it.
Right. And they love that. They love that option.
But typically they come back, right? And they talk about it. And so, you know, I had a situation with my son like last week, and he didn't want to talk about it. I didn't press the issue, and I feel like if I did, the conversation would not have gone so greatly.
Right.
And he may not have, you know, received what I had to say or understood, you know, my perspective on things. And so I didn't want to like push anything, because, you know, I don't want them to shut down.
Right. And that's like, we have to understand that our kids are people, real people with real feelings. Like, no, they're not adults, and no, we're not their friends. But a lot of times, like, that doesn't mean that we can disrespect them,
right? And
their wishes and like what they want for themselves or in their bodies or whatever. Like, we can't just be like, well, you're not allowed to have any boundaries or anything, and shut up and answer me now, and I'm gonna hug you, and you gonna give your grandma a kiss, or like, you know what I'm saying?
But you know, like, I feel like I am my kid's friend, but like not on the level as their friend in school, right? Like their peers that are the same age as them, you know, like we cool. Like, you my dog, you my homeboy, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, there is still a certain level of respect. Like, I'm gonna respect you as a person, as my child, and you're gonna respect me as your parent, as your authority figure.
Right. Like,
you know,
this is a unique relationship, but that doesn't mean that friendship can't be a part of it.
Right.
I think a lot of people are scared to be like, I'm my child's friend. Like, I would like to, I love being my child's friend. I love them. Even though my youngest, like, I'll be like, you're my best friend. And she'll be like, no, you're my mom. We're not friends. You're my mom.
She has set a boundary.
Girl. But, like, yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean, like, I'm going to be like, you know, the cool moms in the movies and, like,
right.
Cool
the
mom.
Permissive.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, friendship is allowed to be a part of that relationship. We don't have to be scared of that. You're right, friend. Thank you for pointing that out.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. We're going to talk for an hour and 10 minutes.
That's pretty much all we have for today. But, you know, we kind of wanted to open that space up. So what, next time, or maybe the time after that?
Yeah, whenever.
We want to move into talking about privileges. Right. Like what type of privileges we have as a parent.
Yeah.
Versus, you know,
I personally got to thinking about a lot of things as far as parenting is concerned. And I was like, well, I have a privilege to be able to parent the way that I do because it requires this. And so, yeah, we want to talk about that a little bit because I feel like we always say, we are speaking from our perspective, from our experiences. Everything we say may not work for everyone, right? At every point in parenting, right? We're just sharing our own personal experiences and trying to keep it real at the same time. You feel me? So yeah, we'll get into privilege eventually, but we did want to lay the foundation. We're talking a little bit deeper about our parenting style. We went all over the place, but y'all know us. And if you don't know us, get to know us.
Get into it.
Subscribe, push the little bell. You know what to do, so you can get them notifications coming through. But yeah, thanks you guys for showing up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hollering at us in the store when you see us.
Okay. That's all we have for today, guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.